Jeremiah, my humble servant, I have heard your cry. I have given you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. It is the master key. With it, whatever you bind here on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you lose on earth will be loose in heaven. Go and give it to my children.
Prophet Jeremiah, with all humility and respect, permit me make I talk to you because you be father. Now, if the God, when you claim say he give you these keys wey be say you don't cut them, everyone say you get the solutions to all of the problems wey man they go through, to all of the challenges wey man they go through, to all of the troubles, to all of the pains, to all of the acrimony, to all of the discomfort wey man they go through. If truly the God when he give you these skills, now very powerful God. If truly na be the God where they tell me about for the Holy Bible, that God will be say, now I create the heavens and the earth, the infinite galactic world universe. The word will be say, they very word incredible. If truly na actually give you these keys, why you not allow him make a fight in fight all by him what self? Why you not allow him make it deal with very dark man all by what himself? What did I expect you to do now, to go to your quiet corner? Just like what did Jesus Christ talk? He said, go and pray to your father in secret. Your papa will be saying, say you for secret, definitely go reward you openly. So I was expecting you, Prophet Jeremiah, say make you go to your secret corner and have very dark man reported to report what? Very dark man to God himself secretly. I mean, to summon what? Very dark man before God's Mount Zion court of what? Justice. For God himself to recompense why you go hold your peace. Because going by what? Popularity, going by influence, going by position, and of course going by what? Power, and most significantly or importantly, going by what? Money, ego, kudi, going by authority, and by going by what? Network, connection. If I say make I compare you, Prophet Jeremiah, with what? Very what? Dark man. I think, say I go say very dark man are just one kind tiny ant. When they stand before you, who is what? A big elephant. Go, 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 go. Remember that song? You be that go, 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 go. Very big elephant. Whereas very dark man are very tiny ant. So for you, therefore, to have come out publicly, they belch out smoke from the 7 orifices of your head. Then they fight what? Very what? Dark man. All because of what they do to you, to me. Make I speak big grammar. What you have just done to yourself, you have dented your reputation with an untold humiliation, intolerable vituperation, vilification, and vulgarization. In fact, that is an incalculable infradig to your personality. It is like what? You coming out with a very big sledgehammer just to hit a small hand when they say bite you for your buttocks. Very dark man, just a tiny hand, and you are like, what? That big sledgehammer. It don't make sense now at all. It don't make sense. Besides, we all supposed to don't know. You don't supposed to know Prophet Jeremiah by now. You don't supposed to what? No. Say this very dark man, now pig. He be like pig. That is very cleverly smart of what? Dragging high profile men to the mud. The mud when he be say that they in the stay, and they what? They take pleasure in wallowing in the mud. If you check the record very well, you will discover say now person will be say they take pleasure being a pig. They take pleasure till they drag high profile what? Men to what? The mud. The mud when you be saying that they're in the state, like I said before, and which it derives pleasure in wallowing. So therefore, it is you, Prophet Jeremiah, who has something to lose, and not what the pig that takes pleasure originally in what? Wallowing or swimming in what? The mud. If you go get time for me, I won't beg you, make you what? Spare me some few of what your time. Make you listen to me, Prophet Jeremiah, with what a fixed attention and with a mind that is devoid of what emotionality. Because I won't tell you one story. This story is very powerful and it carry a great moral what lesson. Now the story goes as follow. Now, once upon a time, you get this particular animal when they call wasps. Make I describe her so that the common man will get the understanding of her. Wasps, now a particular ant. When they say it get narrow waist, it can't get what? A very long, sharp what? Mat. When they use the what? Bite what people. A color are usually yellow. Then what? Its stripes is usually what? Dark in nature. It always they build it as in form of paper. It go collect materials from what? Wood. When they use it, they build what? A house. This particular what? Ant, in they live around a particular what? Palace. When they be say king, they stay. For so many years now. This particular ant, nobody they acknowledge them. Nobody they even they what give her attention. In fact, everybody they see and they walk out they pass because they're not considered her to be absolutely anything. Meanwhile, this ant for a mind for a very long time, it does they seek for means when it be say the king who use they what acknowledge say in the exist. All the attempt when they make, they what actually they command the attention of what the king. For so many years now, they did desperate to want to what become what famous, to make what a name for himself. Then one day the thought enter his mind. And what was that thought? He can't decide on what to do. Say he must definitely make name for himself. Now at one quiet time, on one fateful day, this ant can enter into the king palace. He can go straight to where the king Pekin they sleep. Very young Pekin that they call a prince. With anger and annoyance. Now so he goes straight. Now he bites the nyash of what the prince. So terribly that the prince got a shout, they cry. They cry. Mekona komo. Ade dayo. The pain and no go fi beramo. Cause they cry loud. All of a sudden the king, in anxiety, when he hear say the prince they cry, he call someone, Igwes, they shake them, all of them collectively. They call run enter the room, go discover waiting actually they make the king, the prince rather, they cry. Only for them to discover say, now this particular ant, now he bites the yansh. So they try to catch what? The ants in order to what? Deal with what? The ants. For every attempt they make, all the what? Igwes, the sheep. For every one of them where they try to go what? Catch the ant. That's so they what? The ant, they bite them. He bites the first one. The other one go. He bites the second one. Now so that they go. Now so they what? They bite them one after. They give them back to back. Now so they bite them. They bite them. So they even bite the Igwe joint. The king. He bites them as all of them run come out. Even all the what? The royal what? Household. As they enter the room to go what? Catch what? The ant to rescue what? The prince. Now so they what? The ants, they give them back to back. Now so they bite them. Terribly they bite them. So the news gone spread around all the neighboring what villages, including what? Villages that are very far beyond the neighboring what villages. The news spread, so everybody got a troop to the palace. When they hear about what? The opera, the commotion, the crisis. When it be said, go on for what? The palace. People, the troop. So the king can make announcement. Say, make anybody not move, go anywhere. Now so they suspend every business, every activity, everybody. Now so they suspend movement. No work that day. No business that very day. Because of the terrible thing we be say. The ants, whether they call the wasps, did to what? All of them, starting from what? The prince. Now, at the point, the what? The wasps, this tiny what hand, constant boldly. He said, what did he do today in Dwam intentionally? He said, because for so many years now, nobody they acknowledge them. Nobody they would feel say in the what and things. Meanwhile, he tell himself, he said, for this life when he did so, before he go expire, he must do everything to what ensure say he gain attention. He said, because for you to get name for this life, what would they live? And that name not carry fame. It just be like fire when it be say, get what? Flame. He went for that and said that what the greatest what tragedy when he be say go fit happen to any man for this life is for the man to dey alive, yet his presence they know they feel her. That is for his absence to be felt in his presence. He's alive, yet nobody is acknowledging whether he dey alive or not. He said now be the greatest what tragedy. He said now because of this, now he resolved. So one day he go cut attention for himself. And for him to cut this attention, he go do something when he say it is unusual. If he say yes, he say if I bite what? A common fisherman, where he be nobody go acknowledge me, they no go even know what it happen. If I bite what? Trader where we say they sell tomatoes and pepper, nobody go even know. I no go fit gain the attention when I want. If I bite what? Somebody where they sell akara or what agidi and jollof, they no go know. If I bite what? Common people or the common villagers, nobody go know about me. Now I make up my mind. Say for me to actually what? Cut attention for myself. For me to what? Attach a fame to my name. I go do something to even the person where be say everybody know. That personality will be say now be number one. That personality will be say he get what recognition around the village. I make up a mind. Say one day he go straight to the king palace. That was exactly what he did. He went straight to the king's palace, who happens to be a prominent man in the whole of the community. Go straight. Now he bite the prince, who happens to be a very prominent personality in the making. As if that was not enough, he equally bite the king joined, and consequently he gained the attention when he be say he don't yearn for so many years. But now what be the moral lesson when he be say me and you feel they right or learn from this particular story when I just tell on now? The moral lesson be say if you there for this life where you find yourself in a position where your attention is not acknowledged, your existence rather, they know they acknowledge her. Where you are a nobody, a position where they say you dey alive, yet nobody they feel your presence. Wherever you go, they know they celebrate you because you are a nobody. The position where we say, grammarian they call the crestfallen position, the oipoloi, the position of lumpenproletariat, the common man, on what? The grassroots people, where you are not acknowledged at all. A lowly and a disgusting position, a debased position, a position of no envy. Nobody they envy the position. Nobody they celebrate the position. Nobody they even they desire to want attain or be like you. A position where we say nobody they like to identify with you. Nobody they strive to want to use you as their model. Nobody they wish say one day they won't be like you. A position where you are never at all, you are never absolutely at all identify with. Exactly the position very dark man was many years ago, and even prior to this period when he be saying in the get clash with prophet Jeremiah. That position where he used to live many years ago in a rag. I mean, he was living in a hovel. He did dress with rag and they go hungry every day. That was exactly, yes. They go hungry every day. The best thing you can do when you find yourself in this kind of position, when we say I don't describe, is to attack the most visible person, the most prominent figure, the most powerful figure, and the most famous figure or celebrity when we say if you find around. And this is exactly the thing when it be say very dark man do many years ago, and he has been doing it to have been accelerated or brought out from the bottom of the economic pyramid, where he used to live in pain and in anguish, and of course financial impecuniosity and acute poverty. He has been doing it for so many years now, and of course he has done it to so many celebrities. He don't want to so many celebrities. I've been a Tonto Dike, he don't want to Tonto Dike, he don't want to a lot of Iyabo. Yes, the list goes on. He understands it very well. And now again, he don't want to our own influential Papa, known as Prophet Jeremiah. And because of this, it's even gaining more relevance, and of course becoming even more famous in the eyes of the people, just by the application of what is called the law of cutting attention. Just by the application of this particular law, whether they call the law of cutting attention at all costs. Today, very dark man has been elevated to the status of a prominent figure within the confinements of all the human population. He has become so relevant. He has become so significant. And as I speak with you today, he's even becoming more conspicuous, appearing so larger every day. And of course, making himself a magnet of attention. He's becoming much more colorful. He's becoming much more mysterious in the eyes of the bland and the timid population, or what, the masses. Another person, when he be saying he understands very well, too well, this magical secret that is capable of turning you, a Mr. Nobody, to becoming a celebrity or a popular figure overnight, is one satanic, or that satanic end time gospel preacher, when he call himself Dr. Abel Damina. This very man, Dr. Abel Damina, he don't dey for inside ministry for over 40 years. Right from that time when he be say, I still be like that small zygote for inside my mama belly. Now this man don't dey for ministry, and yet he was a nobody. He was absolutely a nobody. In fact, if they see me, they start to count the first 1 million preachers or pastors when he be say we get for the world. This man not even make what the list of the first 1 million. Coming to Nigeria alone, nobody even know him at all. The only persons will be say they know him now just a wife and his children, alongside with those ignorant, naive, carnal, and worldly people who they call themselves as his followers. But yet, just by acknowledging the law of cutting attention at all costs, and by the application of this particular law, automatically from nowhere, and so this man today rise from the bottom of the gospel pyramid to becoming even the most influential preacher in the whole of the social media. Although his own method or approach of cutting attention at all costs is a very deadly one. Why? Because God in heaven is currently now seated in his throne, watching him and laughing at him for him to have made himself available as an instrument of the devil to preaching the doctrines of the devil. And ultimately, it will definitely cost him in life, because at the end of it all, it is certain that him alongside with his followers will be cast into that lake of fire, where he's going to wallow in pain eternally alongside with his father Satan the devil. Still on the magical secrets and power of cutting attention at all costs, history writer for book say many years ago in the early 60s, he get one particular Roman soldier, a very young one for that matter. When he be say, don't they yearn for so many years to want to become a celebrity? Don't they yearn, say, may they acknowledge her, may they recognize her. He don't do everything within a reach. Now writer he be, they write books. Don't write so many books, he don't publish so many books. Yet nobody acknowledge her. Yet he still live as Mr. Nobody. Nobody they identify with her. Then one day he could tell himself, say, I must definitely one day become very much influential. I must be given attention. And I said to himself, but for me to actually command the attention when the beside they seek for, I will have to do something that is unusual. I will have to do something that is ridiculous. I will have to do something that is nasty. I must do the extraordinary thing. So one day when he sat in his own quiet time, the thought actually came in. And now deviated from the kind of books when they published before. Books will be say they make sense. And I decided to do something that was unusual, called the right satirical poems. What are satirical poems? Now poems, when we say they use humor, they use what is called exaggeration, they use embarrassing statement, ridiculous statement, they use humiliating statement, they describe people, especially the ones that are prominent or the prominent figure. So this particular writer, at a point called, they use satirical poem, they ridicule the Pope when he say he did for office as at that time. Why? Because of the weakness of the Pope. Because the Pope was having an affection for elephant. And believe me, lo and behold, overnight, Aretino who was a Roman young soldier, rose from becoming a servant to becoming a very influential popular figure within the city of the vertical word community. Believe me, a slanderous attack by a Mr. Nobody, like very dark man, and this one what they call Dr. Abel Damina, on what a prominent figure, like what the likes, on a prominent figure, a figure of what power, influence, position and authority, like what the likes of Adeboyes, the Oyedebos, the Kumuyis, the Oyakilomex, and of course the latest one on ground, Papa Jeremiah, is capable of what elevating you, is capable of taking you from a Mr. Nobody or a non-entity to becoming a celebrity overnight. Using very dark man and the one what they call Dr. Abel Damina to explaining how powerful, how magical, how incredible this particular law, what they call the law of cutting attention at all costs. When I go notice that these two very guys, very dark man and Dr. Abel Damina, they very, very cleverly smart. They're very, very intelligent when it comes to the application of this particular law, what they call the law of cutting attention at all costs. They understand this particular law so well. They understand how to apply this particular formula so sparingly. They understand on how this particular formula they work magically. When I go discover, say, these two particular guys, especially now we say they don't enter into what? Limelight. Especially now we say they don't get the public what attention. When I go notice it, that they constantly they get this habit or culture of constantly renewing their formula. And how they go about it, they adapt varying what approach. They adapt different what methodology, because they know say if they constant in their method, if they're not dynamic, if they're not what adapt and they vary in their what approach, the public at a point will grow tired of them. They will become so bored. At some point, they take them for granted, and then after they will move on to another what superstar or a newer star in that particular game. Just like they don't do to this particular guy what they call Patrick Obayago. You remember that time now when they blow grammar in here for internet? Just come up one day with different what method of actually communicating in the public. He was once a senator, so it started all in the senator, and then they're talking about on the House of Water Assembly. Are you using what doing a common thing and a common way? They blow grammars at that time. Before you know, there was an opera, and it was beginning to gain what uncommon attention. It gained the public attention, but because it was not dynamic, it was not creative in it. It was just too constant. Before you knew it, today, yes, it's nowhere to be found. It has disappeared into the fog. And I want Pastor Chris Okotie, yes, now stick through grammar. He used to gain the public what attention. Now, pastor will be say for the very first time, no pastor don't ever what adopt such approach before. He just came up as a pastor, young pastor, as that time, they blow grammar. So the people they carry what big word Bible and dictionary, they go in church at that time. It was strange. That was why automatically and dramatically it gained the public attention. Also because it took the what monotonous, it took the what constant, the dynamic and creative. Before you knew it, where is Pastor what Chris? Where is Pastor Chris Okotie today? It's nowhere to be found. They'll disappear. The public don't what? Abandon her, they don't disappear. Another one again will be say they occur of recent, where they begin to abandon her. Now what that the freaks is gradually disappearing into the fog and night of what? Antiquity. Now it is on this particular what note, or before I talk, you will discover say this particular law of cutting attention at all time, it requires high level of vigilance, requires high level of what? Intelligence, high level of vigilance, and what? Creativity and dynamism. And it is on this particular note I could pull off my cap for very what? Dark man. And what doth it for him? Why? Because that guy don't there for the game for so many years now. They give them back to back, and always they go home smiling with a lot of what? Trophy. As for what Dr. Abel Damina, that guy still didn't new for the game, but we'll give her like say like 5 years to see whether will disappear into what? The fog and night of antiquity, like what the night mixed under the glare of the July sun. Another person will be say, he understand even far better than very dark man. And Dr. Abel Damina, this particular law, what they call the law of cutting attention at all costs, Pablo Picasso. This particular guy, this particular Jude, he never for once at any point in time allowed himself to fade to the background and then disappear from the public attention. This guy is so smart so that whenever he discovers say a name, they become too attached to a particular style. He could just from nowhere come up with what he could set what deliberately set what the public into confusion by deliberately coming up with what new series of paintings that is always against the people's expectation. Very dark man and Dr. Abel Damina, if you take close look at them, you will discover say these two guys, yes, they very intelligent. They not be coward. They very smart and they very clever. They are like what? The remora fish. You know it in biology. There's a particular fish that normally attaches himself toward a bigger shark. So very dark man and what Dr. Abel Damina, they are like the remora fish. They know that they do not originally have the inherent capacity, that what inbuilt ability to withstand the turbulence, to withstand the tempest, to withstand the pressure of what the high sea, which they actually need, or without which they cannot actually swim towards their destination. That inherent capacity which they actually need to swim themselves down towards their destination. So what do? They try all possible means to look for any big shark around them, and then after what do? They will attach themselves to this particular shark who originally has the inherent capacity, the inbuilt ability to withstand the turbulence, the pressure, the tempest of the high sea, and thereafter convey or swim them towards their destination. This is exactly what these two guys, Dr. Abel Damina and of course very dark man, are doing. They are constantly creating content that are ugly and disturbing, and as a result of that, they are growing in an alarming rate in the social media community, without at any point in time allowing their viewers to get bored. Very dark man again and Dr. Abel Damina, these two very guys, you will notice one spectacular thing about them. Everything you see very dark man doing today, everything you see him doing today, beginning from his speech attitude and to the way he dresses, believe me, it is intentional and very much deliberate. Beginning from is lifestyle of dressing and his personality quite that amuses every one of us, and therefore get us talking so voluminous about him, just like we did many years ago to that great Afro beat originator. I speak of the man called Fela Anikulapo Kuti, rest in peace, of blessed and eternal memory. Everything you see these categories of people doing, it is very much deliberate and highly very intentional. They do it principally, they are very technical, they know what they are doing. They do it principally to establish a name for themselves, and also in eventuality to set themselves apart from the timid and the cold souls, the vast majority of the human population. They do it fundamentally to have a radiant and an illuminating appearance, to gain a place in the heavenly stations for their stars. They are deliberately controversial in their attitude and of course their appearance. This is the reason why they will never see it as a strange reaction, or why they will never see any strange reaction as a bad thing, especially when you attack them. These categories of people, when you evaluate them at a close range, you will discover that they are bold, they are fearless, they are never nervous, they have intrepidity, they have audacity, just like you saw many years ago in that man called Fela Anikulapo Kuti, and which today you are witnessing in the life of that guy called Very Dark Man. Hundreds of years ago, it was on record that the court of Louis XVI was filled with so many gifted, so many talented, so many brilliant authors, great artists, beauties, men and women of impeccable characters, but none was most spoken of in this particular court. But none was more spoken of in this particular court than Dogue de Lauzun. This particular duke, who was very, very short and almost 12-ish, was prone to the most insolent character. He slept with the king, mistresses, and not only did he openly insulted the courtiers, he equally insulted the king himself. But the king, being so beguiled by his idiosyncrasy and eccentricities, strange behaviors and character, just couldn't stand or bear the chance of his absence from the court. It was simple. The strangeness of his behavior or character attracted attention, such that whenever the people were enthralled by him, they always wanted to have him around at all costs. And this is exactly what very dark man and Dr. Ebeh Damina is or her. And this is exactly what very dark man is. And of course, the recent one called Dr. Ebeh Damina. They are deliberately exhibiting all kinds of insolent behaviors and character, just to cut the attention of the people of the world at all costs. They understand so very well and practically that the world in which you and I live craves only for crazy figures who are larger than life. Figures that have the animal intrepidity, the animal hardihood, the animal audacity, the animal effrontery, the animal courage and boldness to live above the general mediocrity of any given society. Figures who are always very much at alert to do anything that is capable of setting them apart and commanding or drawing attention to them. They are never scared of even having the most prominent figure around their circle of life slandered, ridiculed, relegated, and bastardized at any slightest opportunity which they have to do so. This is exactly what Dr. Ebeh Damina is doing at the moment to the big wigs, the big chiefs, the prominent figures like the likes of Adeboyes, the Kumuyiks, the Oyedekpos, the Eneshe, the Ibiome, the Abioye, name them. And of course, what very dark man is doing at the moment to Prophet Jeremiah. This I expected Prophet Jeremiah, a preacher of his own caliber, influence, class, and authority, to be aware of, so that he doesn't react much. And if possible, not to even react to very dark man, whom I told you before now, he is a pig who lives in the mud. And he derives pleasure in living in the mud. And as such, he has no reputation to lose by dragging you, Prophet Jeremiah, to the mud. Besides, I want you, Prophet Jeremiah, when you get home at your own quiet time, in your own quiet corner, to conduct this particular experiment. Take a bottle of 5 alive, a plastic 5 alive bottle that is filled with water. 5 alive. Yes. Take 5 alive bottle water that is well sealed. Then equally take a Coca-Cola 75 CL that is equally sealed. Then conduct this experiment. First of all, shake rigorously and violently the water that is inside the 5 alive plastic rubber. Shake it so violently. After you do that, finish after some minutes, let's say for a period of 30 seconds, for approximately 1 minute, open them, and you will notice that it doesn't react at all. And because it refuses to react, it will retain its quantity and quality. That is to say, it will not reduce in quality, neither will it reduce in quantity. The taste still remain, the quantity still remain, the quality still remain. Why? Because it does not react at all. Now do exactly what you do to this Ragolis water, to the Coca-Cola. Shake it rigorously and violently. After a period of 30 seconds or 1 minute, just like you did to the what? 5 alive water in the what? Ragolis what bottle. Open what? The cork or the cover. It will amaze you to discover the violent reaction. The what? Kind of what, turbulent reaction, evolution of gases. It will so react in such a way that at the end of the reaction, you will discover that it has reduced in quality. It has equally reduced in quantity. It will never be the same again. The quality and the quantity must have what? Reduced. And this is exactly what is happening to you right about now, Prophet what? Jeremiah, for overreacting. Because you have overreacted to the allegation that was put forth by a very dark man, you are unknown to you. You they reduce your you reduce both in quality and in quantity. Your quantity and what your quality, which are what your personality and dignity are reducing because you have what? Reacted so much to what the allegation put forth by what this guy called a very dark man, a pig for that matter, who lives in the mud and who takes pleasure and delight in what? Wallowing in the mud, and who has nothing, who has no reputation to what? Lose. Prophet Jeremiah, by reacting, I repeat myself, you have what? Reduced drastically, both in quantity and what? In quality. Your quantity is your personality, your quality is what? Your dignity. It has been so reduced to what? The status of a lycanthropic animal. I mean, that condition that what King Nebuchadnezzar was reduced to a very low status, so that what? Even a shower prostitute, kidnappers, or latish, people of no value, who do not originally have what? The boldness to even talk to you, and now what? Talking to you recklessly and without what? Any element or iota of respect. They ridicule you now. They speak recklessly and carelessly concerning about you. Why? Because you overreacted. You overreacted. You overreacted. Very dark man is a pig. He is a pig. He doesn't have anything to lose. He derives pleasure in what? Living in the mud. That is dragging you to the mud. You, a man of what? Global influence, power, authority, influence, money now. You are the one who has something to lose. You are beginning to be what? Seen in the global community as an object of what? Public ridicule and what? Mockery. This ought not to be so now. Everyone should learn from what is happening to you. It shouldn't be so. Very dark man is a pig. Take note of that. He's only trying to cut attention at all costs. He understands very well what is called the law of cutting attention at all costs, and he's applying it to you, and you are being ignorant. Please be awakened to take note that these guys are only trying to command attention to themselves by the application of what is called the law of cutting attention at all costs. Please, Prophet Jeremiah, again, if truly the keys, like I said from the beginning of what the message, if truly these keys, when you already proclaim to the world, say, now be the universal solution to all of the suffering of man. Keys where we say go solve gonorrhea, key where go solve syphilis, key where we say go solve all sorts of what sicknesses and diseases, stroke, name the cancer, prostate cancer and the hairs of breast cancer, you don't talk about. Even financial what? Poverty problem, all sort of what, that is what a university almighty key. We call it what? Universal. If truly this key was actually given to you, say now God Almighty, now I give you this key. Like I said before, you're supposed to go to your quiet word corner. They report this particular word. This guy is like an ant. Report that to God. God, that's what? Yes, you in secret will definitely reward you open. And this was exactly what several prominent figure in the biblical era did when they were being ridiculed by people of no value, or when they are being alleged of things that in reality God was actually the one who did it for them. They reported their adversaries to what? God Almighty. And at the end of it all, God dealt with the adversary beyond measure. Even to some extent, some of them, like the case of Elijah, animals just come, had from the bush, he swallowed all the children. Many more like that have been a Pharaoh. When Moses report the challenge to God Almighty, see what he do to them. He opened Red Sea, he swallowed all of them. Many more instances like that. Therefore, Bible, these people, they hold their peace, and God fought their battles for them, so that they did not dissipate any energy. They didn't even lose any form of they were just some of them were even singing while God was flogging seriously, ridiculing their enemy, destroying their enemy. There are several cases like that in the Bible. When some of them when these men of God were insulted, they go meet God in their own quiet, they cry to God, and God Almighty in heaven, when say, yes, truly, waiting what? These people, the word cry to her for. Now they very genuine. God Almighty not hesitate. He reacted, and this is exactly what prophet Jeremiah say me, you be papa. Now what are you supposed to do? Anyway, person know the big past mistake, but don't forget that it is a mistake that you made this mistake, but it will not be a mistake next time for you to repeat this mistake. I salute you. God bless you.